Hey, bro, what are you doing?
Brennen, I am watching this Derek Jackson tight handhold grip he has on his wife as he tells her that he's cheated with multiple women multiple times, but he's sorry.
I did watch that too, and I was just wondering, is she ever going to blink?
I don't know, because I feel like she needs help.
Like, blink twice for help.
Right. It's ridiculous. I don't understand this whole story, this whole situation.
Well, explain what's going on. What's going on?
I don't know. So I guess he's this like love guru on Instagram or whatever.
Okay, he gives advice.
He gives advice to basically women, saying that he just is he promotes women. He loves women. This is how you should handle your man, and when they're cheating on you, this is what you should do. All kinds of advice. He's written 4 books about it.
Oh, okay.
Which is, he's
on his Steve Harvey type stuff.
Blasphemy and currently fiction.
That's Steve Harvey wrote Think Like a Man, Act Like a Woman, telling all the dudes business. So that's what Derek Jackson is doing.
It's Act Like a Woman, Think Like a Man, but
whatever. I didn't read the book.
Whatever. But anyway, so I guess he gets caught cheating.
Okay.
Yeah. And then somehow woke his wife up out of her sleep with her bonnet and no bra on. I heard it was a hat, but it definitely looked like a bonnet.
It definitely looked like a bonnet.
It definitely looked like a bonnet. She looked like she was woken up out of her sleep to go on Instagram Live for him to talk in the third person about how he cheated with multiple women multiple times.
Yeah, once he said, I've been having extramarital affairs with multiple women, I just stopped. Yeah. Because I was like, bro, you are not who we thought you were.
You are not who you claim to be.
There's a whole imposter in this street.
Right, for years.
Well, this is How Are We Related?
How Are We Related? We're back.
We're back with Brett Janelle and Brennen J.
That's right.
We do have a special guest today.
We do. We have a very special guest.
A very special guest. I like to call her my half-sister. Uh-oh. But she doesn't like that, so before she gets down here and hears this, I'm going to say this is my half sister. She is our firstborn sister.
That's right. She's the general.
Yeah, there's no evidence that she was really born to my mom, so I don't really know. There's no pictures of my mom with a
side note.
Stomach.
She really was. We just like to tease her and say that she wasn't, because she looks nothing like me or Brennen.
She does not. And she really hated it when that Christmas I sent her the Christmas card from her real mom.
From her real mom.
she did not like that at all.
That was
funny. And Dad tried to. He tried
to act mad.
Yeah, he knew it was funny too.
She is my daughter.
Right, that's my daughter. Why would you guys play like
right,
this?
Because it's funny.
It's because it's hilarious.
Right.
And the facts add up. There's no pictures of
photos.
Her being.
We found her somewhere.
And the rumor has it that mom couldn't even have children.
Right. So where'd she come from?
Where did she come from?
Where'd she come from?
It's like there's pictures of you in mom's stomach. There's pictures of me in mom's stomach. There's no pictures of her.
Nope, we found her.
I really feel like the real story was Dad's daughter from another relationship.
Don't have my dad out here like that.
God bless the dead, but I don't know.
Oh my God, you think the truth died with them?
The truth, I feel like mom was like, don't tell
Don't you take this to your grave.
And then I come along joking, and then she's like, what?
They figured it out.
It's like, I'm a gumshoe out here. It's like, man, trying to get stuff through me. So yeah, she will be joining us a little bit later. She has a story to tell. She just recently went through an adoption.
She did. It's like a week ago yesterday.
Yeah. So she's very elated about that.
Yep.
And she'll tell the story about, the trials and tribulations of what happened during the time that she was waiting to get the adoption. She's very animated, so you guys will definitely enjoy her.
And we probably need to carve out some time because she's long-winded as well.
Definitely. Don't get her too hyped because then she'll start hyperventilating.
Please stay with us. Yeah. If the story, we'll try to keep the story to at least 2 to 3 minutes, but we can't make any guarantees.
Well, let me talk about your boy Jay-Z. You know, we both agreed that Jay-Z is pretty much the best rapper alive.
What? Wait, we agree now on that?
Well,
you never have ever agreed with me on that, ever.
I've always told you that I like Jay-Z.
You never have ever said he's the best rapper alive.
Well, because Biggie died, so.
Oh.
That makes him the best. It's him or Lil Wayne.
Oh,
and I
it's
would
March.
Yeah.
Is it? Did we miss his birthday?
Yeah, March 9th, R.I.P. Biggie. Okay. I had to stop celebrating his death because his family said that they don't like to celebrate his death.
Okay.
And I was like, well, I don't know when he was born, so I just remember when he died.
I know it was March.
And Cannabis put it in a rhyme. He said, because the greatest rapper of all time died on March 9th. So it's like I always remember that line. But Jigga Jay-Z.
Yeah.
So a couple of years ago.
Wait, can I stop you?
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to just act like we didn't see Jay-Z's hair at the Grammy?
That Basiak style?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, well,
I don't like it.
I saw his hairstyle and I started trying
Oh, wait,
to
I forgot to
hair.
ring the bell.
What?
You said Basiak.
I don't. Basiak.
Basquiat.
Right.
Basquiat.
Hit the bell on you too. Yeah. How you gonna ding the bell on me? And you
Because
don't
I
even
knew
know
that
how to say
wasn't right.
but you knew what I was saying.
I knew what you
wasn't
said
right.
was wrong.
Wrong. Damn. Well, anyways, he got that John Bonet.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
I think it's cool, but I was just wondering, how did he grow it so fast? Because I've been trying to grow my hair.
I think it was some clippings.
I think he's got extensions, but I ain't telling nobody.
I hope you don't have extensions.
I hope you don't have extensions, but I just don't know. It's like I got a little this rapper named Lil Durk, and he's been growing his hair, but now his hair has like gold streaks in it, and I was like,
he dyed it.
How did he do that?
He just dyed it.
I was like, I don't know. So I don't know how these dudes be growing this long hair because I just can't.
Most of it, I think, is weave, though.
Yeah, I really
especially
feel
with the NFL, like the football players.
Yeah,
most of that I believe it's weave.
I think they just put the weave and extensions in there and then let their hair grow, and then like once
as it grows,
they
take it out.
Start taking it out.
And, this is not a bad idea.
So I don't know what Jay-Z is doing with his hair,
I don't like it.
I know that he's about at 1.8 billion.
Right. Shout out to Jay-Z. I guess. You got that much money, you can do whatever you want with your hair. Well, also, and you don't care who talks about it.
Really, because, I mean, what interview is he going to go on? He's got hair like that, and he upgraded his job. So he sold Tidal to Jack Dorsey. Jack Dorsey is the co-founder of Twitter, and he's the CEO of Square. Square is that little thing that you put on your phone and slide it through so you can use a credit card at these
like kiosks
and what do they call food trucks.
Yeah.
Food trucks always have them. So he signed over major shares to Square for $297 million.
That's what's up.
He just signed a deal with Louis Vuitton cognac and all those other the main brand that Louis Vuitton is under.
Yeah.
So they make alcohol, purses, everything. They signed a deal to buy that Ace of Spades alcohol that he has. The deal. I
didn't even know that was still a thing.
Yeah.
There's Ace of Spades alcohol.
It's very much a thing, and they just bought it for a lot of money.
Wow.
He recently, I think back in 2016, 17, sold shares of Tidal to Sprint for a couple million. So it's like he spent, him and the group of investors, Madonna, Nicki Minaj, Beyonce, Kanye West.
Taylor Swift was in that too, wasn't she?
Taylor Swift. They all bought into Tidal. The Tidal company is a Norway streaming service.
Oh yeah, I saw a picture one day of the
staff.
The staff. There's like no black people.
Yeah,
on staff.
because it was in Norway. But there are black people that work for Rock Nation / Tidal. So in the offices in New York, there are a lot of black people working for Tidal. So I just want to end that rumor. So, but that group only spent $57 million. So they spend $57 million, and then from 2015 to 2021, then go and sell it for $297 million.
That's crazy.
They are the second largest shareholder still in the company, and Jay-Z gets a seat at the board of Square.
But even with all that, I still don't know anybody who has Tidal except you.
I don't know.
I literally know no one who has Tidal but you.
I I don't know.
And I do appreciate it, and I hope that you keep it, because every time they drop something, they only release it on Tidal first.
And
then
Tidal,
that's how I get it.
Like we said in the previous podcast, Tidal is the hip-hop streaming service. So, like, exclusive things like videos, exclusive concerts for hip-hop artists is always on Tidal. Like, different shows are always on Tidal. If it has something to do with the culture, Tidal tries to get its hands on it first. And that's what I appreciate, because it's like Apple Music, I don't have an iPhone. Spotify, it's free, and I used to listen to it listen to the Joe Budden podcast, but once he took his podcast off of that, I don't listen to Spotify anymore because I have Tidal, and I pay for Tidal, so that's what I enjoy.
Okay.
Also, your boy Swizz Beatz and Timbo are making news.
Yeah.
They sold that Versus to Thriller, and they came up. But the cool thing about that is that everybody that did a Versus gets a percentage in the Thriller company. So
I read that, but is that everybody up to what point? Because I'm pretty sure like everyone moving forward doesn't get it.
So everybody up to the newest one was Raekwon and Ghostface. That just happened this Saturday. I don't think they were a part of it. So the last person that was a part of it was D'Angelo and Friends, because that was the Versus D'Angelo and Friends. But our special guest is here.
She made it.
Fresh off of checking on her new daughter.
I made it.
So we just introduced you, Breana Jones Daniels.
Fantastic.
And
first of our name.
So go ahead and give yourself your proper introduction.
I am Breana Jones Daniels, first of our name, master of much, leader of nothing, greatest of all.
You did tell them to carve out some time when you started talking.
Because you will be long-winded.
Right.
The long-winded one.
Warn our audience.
Right.
To carve out some time.
We
and
also,
she just came and stole the mic from me.
We also let them know that you just went through an adoption process.
I did.
So what was that like? Tell me, let's start from the beginning. Like, what was that like when you got the call to, even see your daughter the first time? I haven't mentioned her name yet, so I'll let you do that.
So I feel comfortable saying it now, but so Brett calls me on January 9th and tells me
7th.
No, it was the 9th. On the 7th, you got Paisley, but on the 9th, you called me and you told me that Mom was coming over. She had some appointments, and she had made the decision to go ahead and put the 5th child, which was my child, into the system because she just felt like it was a bit overwhelming. Anyway, so Brett calls me, asks me to come over, and I come over. I pick up this baby. I don't know, as a mom, you pick up a child and sometimes you just know. And I can remember the first thing I said to her. I picked her up and her diaper was wet, and I went to wipe her, and she didn't like the wipes. And I said, "Oh, it's okay. Mommy will get you a diaper warmer." And I was like, oh my God, I just called myself mommy to this little girl I don't even know. And basically, that's the story of how I met her, because I changed her diaper and decided right then that she was going to be with me for the rest of her life. Her mom, long story short, her mom basically told me that I could take her home and I didn't have to return her, and I never have. And she was formally adopted on Monday of last week at 3:20 p.m. The only reason I know that time is because my sister was awesome and took a picture of me clutching her to my whole entire body at the very second that the judge said her name was Emerson Reese Moss Daniels.
I've been seeing that picture on my timeline for the past 6 days. Like, people
it keeps showing up.
It keeps on showing up.
Pretty much a big deal. She is pretty much the queen of all things right now. This is her month. March belongs to Emerson now.
So I was going to say, what is her name?
Her name is Emerson Reese Moss Daniels.
All right. So in that first month, was the first month of getting to know a new child, was that difficult? Because you do have 2 other children.
I do.
I always try to remind you.
It was actually incredibly difficult because in the first month of having her, I actually was still working for Pulse Enterprises. Pulse Incentives is actually the name of the company. And I had to take a work trip. I had to leave the country and go on a work trip to Jamaica. So I want to say I got her at 7 weeks. And by 9, I think I had 2 weeks with her, and I had to leave the country for about 10 days. And that, for me, was probably one of the harder things I've ever had to do in life, because I was just bonding with this baby, and then I had to leave her for about 10 days. Thank God my sister stepped up and kept her the entire time I
sure did, didn't I?
You did.
That's right. I sure did. You know what? I totally forgot about that.
You did. And the beauty is that most people can't tell Brett and I apart when we are together they just can't. So this baby, being 7 weeks old, really didn't know that she wasn't with me when she was with Brett, with the exception of the fact that her diapers and her diapers were changed, but she really didn't. She wore the same outfit.
But listen, she was a baby.
Days in a row.
She was a baby. She wasn't doing nothing but sitting there and sleeping.
Baby was just chilling.
She was just chilling. She wasn't getting dirty or sweaty or anything
send
like
10
that.
days worth of clothes with the baby.
Well, I wasn't doing all that.
And
all she did was sleep. I changed her.
So Bren, you're saying that Breana did the most?
Always. As always.
So that's on brand.
That's right.
First of all,
she does the most.
Me doing the most is not on brand. I just feel like I do all of the things that other people should do.
But listen, this baby was at this point, 9 weeks old.
9 weeks. Yeah.
All she did was sleep and cry. She wasn't exerting any energy. I was not changing her clothes. I was not changing her clothes. I changed her diaper.
Hey, she was just not changing her clothes. You got to live with that.
I'm just saying. I bought clothes for her to be changed into that were not used.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put that out there.
True. No lies detected.
No
lies detected.
She said big facts.
right.
So did you get any confrontation throughout the process from the family?
So I would say, and this is where I might get a bit long-winded. You know how when somebody, don't shake your head.
We're not going to get long-winded.
Just let her cook.
Why can't I cook?
Because
oh goodness,
Lord Jesus.
Go ahead.
Okay,
I'm
Continue.
cooking.
Oh, okay. I like some macaroni and cheese.
So you know how
like
sometimes
a frozen pizza, because that might not take very long.
As you digress.
This is so unfair. First of all, can we go back to the beginning where I acknowledge that this is the first time where in how are we related history that we've had actually all of the related family members on the podcast, and you say one smart aleck thing. And
we touched on that. We touched on that. I promise you at the beginning.
I will snap necks.
We touched on that.
I am no.
You'll have to listen.
I am in no way.
You'll have to listen to see what we said.
The mailman. Mm-hmm. I am in no way one of my parents' children, but not the other.
So you've heard these before.
I am in no way all God's children, as Elder Steve used to say. Well, I mean, I am one of God's children, but I am not.
Father Abraham had many sons.
Jesus. I just want you all to know that I am the biological firstborn, begged for, loved enormously child of both Percy, Jean, and Barbara Ann Austin Jones.
But we were talking about, did you have any troubles?
Yeah, I don't know how we got into all of that. See, this is what I warned y'all about.
So, did you have any?
Warned them about?
I did.
Did you have any?
So good.
I did.
Did you have any problems with the other family?
So I will say this: when you are adopting a child from anybody else, like you can't expect there to just be an easy handoff. Like there's going to be love, even if it's some kind of love that you don't think is the perfect love. There's going to be a level of attachment and entitlement and, if you will, and I'm using air quotes now, love that exists there. So when we made the decision to adopt, the biological mom did have issue with it at first. She thought about it after she signed the paperwork and she, thought maybe she could do it herself. I do believe that she realized, a little bit afterward that we were the best choice for the baby. The biological father, however, claimed he never had the opportunity to consider that option. And so he actually fought the adoption all the way up until the day we were given the rights to Emerson.
Now, do you think that was him fighting, or that was Big Mama fighting through him, like the grandmother?
You know what? I would like to have a whole bunch of opinions about what his purposes were in fighting for a child that he has never ever seen. Well, that's a lie. I can't say that. He has never had much of a relationship with, but I don't want to speak for him, and I don't want to speak for the people around him that were encouraging him to make the choices that he was making. I will say that he did not have the level of paternal attachment that a person would have if they truly loved a child.
Right. I really feel like he was just making a big fuss so that when Emerson turns 18, he can say, well, I tried to fight for you. And I tried, but, with they had a whole family and it was just me. So, but I did try. So I feel like he put in the least effort and just to say, I tried.
I will say if that was the least effort, then the outcome was perfect, because in order to raise a child, the least effort is never, and I mean, we all know this, we all have children. If you put in the least effort to love and rear and raise a child, then you deserve whatever outcome that happens to you, because children require so much more than the bare minimum.
So what else happened during this time of the adoption? Did anything happen to any other family members?
Yeah. So, fun story. The adoption was scheduled for, what we thought was the adoption was scheduled for January 19th, the initial adoption. What we did not know was that the judge decided to hear the dad's contesting
Arguments.
Dissent against our adoption process on that day. But in preparing for what we thought was adoption day, January 19th, we experienced a little bit of what Aunt Deborah and Uncle Billy and I called excitement.
Okay.
On January 14th, my husband went up downstairs with his Qdoba DoorDash dinner that we had had
so
delivered.
You didn't cook for him?
That was the one night I had chosen not to cook for him.
Because the night before I had called y'all and y'all was having steak.
I mean, I do cook every night because I am that good of a wife. Not only do I raise children and keep a house, but I cook nightly.
But you had him down in the basement with DoorDash.
He did have DoorDash the night of the 14th, though. And I will say, like, of all of the blessings that happened that night, one of the second greatest blessing that happened to me was my sister decided to come by with Paisley, so that the girls could see each other, because Paisley, and I believe it was Jesus, decided she had to see Emerson that day. So Brett said they were going to come by for 10 minutes. And I
still have my coat on.
Yeah, I didn't, think much of it, because Brett and Paisley stopped by often, and we have DoorDash often. So none of this was outside of the norm. But while
Brett, do you ever get DoorDash when you come over to Breanna's house? Does she ever share DoorDash with you?
Share her DoorDash?
Yeah.
No, but when I cook,
okay.
As a matter of fact, let's talk about how she calls me every day asking me what.
Let's stay on topic. DoorDash. But anyway, so Brett comes over. Paisley and Emerson hit 10 as soon as they see each other, as they always do. So Calvin says, "Oh, I'm going to go downstairs." What I didn't know is that he had like a migraine headache that I didn't know about. So he went downstairs and was downstairs for about 15 minutes, because Brett said they were leaving at 10. They were there for 15. We were talking about, I don't know, random sister stuff, probably you, as we tend to do. That's warranted.
And I get a text from Calvin on the 14th of January, 5 days before I'm supposed to adopt a child. And he asks me to come downstairs. And when I come downstairs, Calvin is having, without question, a full-on stroke. And the reason I know it's a stroke is because not 15 years earlier, when our father had quadruple bypass surgery, he came out of surgery and I was talking to him in his room, and he also experienced a stroke. So I had seen it before. I knew exactly what was happening. And it was all of the, I don't even know if the saints were praying for me all in that moment. I honestly can't tell you because I'm about to cry thinking about it. But like this sense of calm came over me, and I knew exactly what needed to be done. We got him to the hospital. I think the only call I made was to 911, and then my next call was to you, Brennen. And we just sat and we waited for everything to be well, because I believed by faith that all would be well.
So, Brett, do you remember when we were talking about how lucky we were that Dad, when he passed, that we got to, go in the hospital and see him? And that was not the case when Calvin was in the hospital. We had to sit in the car.
We did.
Oh,
we had
until 3-something in the morning.
Yeah.
We chilled in that car for a whole hot couple minutes.
We got there like 6:30. We were there till 3:30. We got there at 7.
Yeah.
There till 3:30 in the morning.
In the morning.
In the parking lot.
Only reason we left at 3:30 in the morning when we did leave was because they transferred him to a different hospital.
Shout out to Jenny Kang.
Shout out Jenny Kang.
Father God.
DJ Kang.
If there was no Jenny Kang, Breana would be talking to you as a widow right now. I genuinely believe that. So I love her more than you could ever know. But anyway, the only reason why we decided to go home at 3:30 was because they were transferring him to a different hospital where he was going to receive more advanced care. And there was nothing I was going to be able to do. I mean, there was nothing I was able to do from the parking lot in the first place, but there was nothing else going to be able to do from a different parking lot. So
how
they told
about,
us
let's
to
talk
go
about
home.
Jenny getting on the phone and giving that doctor the business.
The business.
Shout out to DJ Kang. She's a doctor in Colorado.
Yes.
So she knew how to speak to.
Listen, she talked to this doctor who was like, I don't even want to say he was the lead doctor. He was a subordinate of the doctors. And Jenny was just telling him all of the things that she felt like he needed to know. And he was like, I agree more with you being Jenny than I agree with the doctors that are servicing, Mr. Daniels right now. So let me go ahead and listen to your instruction versus listening to what the doctors are saying here. And if Jenny had not, like I tell everybody, if Jenny had not stepped into the gap for me right then, I would be talking to you as a whole different human right now. But Jenny got that man all the way together. Like,
she did.
When I say all the way together, like he would tell us stuff and she would be like, no. That's not not acceptable.
So no other problems like Peyton and Ryan going to school. Those are no problems.
So Peyton and Ryan, Peyton is 16, Ryan is 18. We chose not to tell Ryan anything about what was going on in that moment until we knew more. Like, she's in college, 2 hours away from, an hour and a half away from home. Just giving her basic information we thought would be cruel. So we waited until we knew more. She came home immediately. And she came home and was just like, I don't even know. Like, she was the wheel in the middle of a wheel. She came in and she kept everybody's spirits up. She helped me with Emerson. She did everything that needed to be done. Peyton took it.
She did TikToks. I now call her TikTok.
May have done some TikToks.
She probably did.
She probably did.
She definitely did some TikToks.
Peyton took it a lot more serious. Peyton is my very emotional, very emotive, wears his heart on his sleeve child. Peyton, like, everything is very literal to him. And so until he saw his dad and he was able to see his dad walking and talking and moving about like he normally was, he doesn't walk in faith, which I do believe is a big disservice that I have given him, because I have not fostered, I guess, enough faith in him for him to know that all will be well in Jesus' name.
Let me ask y'all a question. Brett, this is maybe a question for Breana more than you, because Paisley is a little bit younger. But Breana, do you pray over your dinner with your family?
Every time.
Like, do you say the prayer out loud?
Like, do the kids come? Do you guys say, okay, we're going to pray now?
Usually.
You guys like hold hands? Or?
We don't hold hands, but over dinner, like we.
Because we just started that because like Ceci, my daughter, she just sometimes makes comments and I'm just like, you need Jesus. Like you definitely need Jesus. So it's like the first thing we're going to start doing is praying over the food that Aaron cooks. So it's like we just do the basic prayer. Father God, in the name of Jesus, ask you to sanctify this food for the buildings of our bodies. In Jesus' name, amen. That's the prayer that Mom and Dad taught us. So
yeah, it is.
Yeah,
what is it?
I'm probably not saying it correctly. It's something.
Sounds right to me, brother.
It does. That's why.
You know what? Stop it. Just because I remember word for word what the actual prayer our parents said was.
Well, bust it down there. What was it?
Our parents used to pray every night over our food. Father, we humbly thank thee for this food we are about to receive. We ask that you sanctify it for the upbuilding of our bodies. In your name, Jesus Christ's sake. Amen.
That was beautiful.
That was gorgeous. We had another special guest come in. I don't know if you guys heard.
Emerson Reese.
Young E.
E baby.
Yeah, here she is.
She wants to get on the mic, say a few things because she's being talked about.
What you got to say?
Emerson, do you want to say anything to our friends? Oh, that's your foot, yeah.
Oh, nope, can't touch the mic.
Touch the mic, okay.
You say hi? Can you say hi?
No.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So, you know who, we're going to switch topics now. Thank you for sharing that story. Mm-hmm. But I want to also, you know who said a prayer and God answered his prayer?
Who?
The man that married Jeff Bezos' wife.
Yeah.
Because he said a prayer and the Lord worked in mysterious ways for him.
You know what? I heard he said he was going to give away, which I didn't understand. He said he was going to give away all his money, but none of that money is his, so I don't get.
No, give away the money that he's earned so far. Because he's.
Oh, is that what he was saying?
Because he don't need no more.
His $35,000 he got a year as a science teacher. He was like, I'm just gonna give this away
because we as teachers make no money.
He's like, that is not even the monthly bills in this house.
Right.
So it's like I feel bad trying to put my little yearly salary into the pot.
So I'm just gonna give it away.
I'm just gonna give it away and we're gonna start working from here. Working from here.
Right.
But yeah, so she married him, and I was just like, man, he just came up. Like, she is the richest woman in the world, I think.
No.
Or maybe she's the second richest
She might
woman.
be. I really don't know.
I'll give her top 5, dead or alive. So
okay.
She's rich. She's richer than a lot of people out here. And so he came up tremendously. So I just want to shout him out for basically the come up. But you know who else came up?
Who?
Everybody that's getting that
1.9
stimmy. 1.9 trillion stimmy.
Which is crazy.
But
they
added some sauce into that. They put some stuff into that.
So I guess America is just printing money now.
Okay.
I don't know. However, I think a lot of that $1,400 that people are going to get is going to be taxed on the back end. So.
But you're getting $1,400 per child.
I know, isn't that crazy?
So the memes are going crazy.
But not everybody's getting it.
Oh no, what happened?
So only people making under $75,000 and married couples making under $150,000 receive direct payments of $1,400. And then I think it's as the higher you go up or the lower you go up, I think it's they adjust it. I
also heard that they threw for people, because this relates to me, for the people that were getting unemployment. Mm-hmm. They're not taxing $10,500 up to $10,500.
Yeah.
In that unemployment,
which is great. Well, the first $10,200.
$10,200, $500.
Yeah, and of just those unemployment benefits received in 2020, though, so that doesn't carry over to 2021.
Right.
And it's only for households earning under 150.
Right.
So there's a lot of great things that come to it. There's also a lot of stipulations. There's also a tax credit. There's a generous tax credit.
For who?
It's $2,000 per child under 17.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it could be as much as $3,600 for kids Up to age 5.
So they really are promoting people doing their taxes this year.
Yeah, right.
They really want people to do their taxes.
Well, it doesn't mean people are going to do their taxes. That really doesn't mean. It just means when they do them,
they just gonna get back.
Maybe.
Well, I don't know. So
it's also money that's going to fight the pandemic. It's going to, I think, help local governments and schools. There's a lot of stuff. Affordable Care Act is going to get a boost. The only thing that's missing is that minimum wage hike that they fought so hard for. People would not. I don't understand why they wouldn't pass that.
I don't understand.
I think they were just trying to include it in this bill, and folks were saying, yes, we agree with it, maybe, but let's not include it in the stimulus package. So
I just love how people are always like, yeah, if McDonald's workers are making $15 an hour, the cost of a burger is going to be $8. And I'm like, I don't really think so, but I mean, I'm going to let you
minimum wage, in this country, I think is just such a joke because they increase the cost of living, but they don't increase the wages to live, which I don't understand how we've gotten away with that for as long as we have gotten away with it. It's really
America.
It's America. Yeah, it's crazy.
Man. So in other news, did you hear about your boy cussing Kirk?
Yeah, I did, and I'm not mad at Kirk Franklin.
So
we all are human. Kids drive us to do the craziest things.
The Bible says all have fallen short of
all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God.
Glory of God.
Yeah.
And I really feel I'm gonna say a BAN. So that's the word that's the phrase that Kirk Franklin called his son, a BAN.
I'm like, what is it? Okay. But the kid is 33 years old. He's not even a kid.
But then when he publicized the conversation, that is a BAN move.
Yeah, that is.
That's bitch made, bitch bought,
it's
bitch
just
hold. Like it's.
I don't know. He probably. The intent of it was horrible. He was in his feelings, and his intent was to try to ruin his father.
Yeah.
But, who among us who has a child has not felt that urge to just say some things we shouldn't say?
Yeah, but I've said some crazy things, but it's like I would never go back and air out what my mom said to me in her anger.
Yeah.
And if I was acting crazy, I would never, because I would feel like, she was like, she knows me. She was like, I've got how many ever years of you saying ridiculousness stuff. So let me air you out. And then it's like, now I feel like a whole dummy. So it's like, nah, I'm just going to sit back and take this L.
Because I probably deserve it on some level.
And he was acting like a BAN.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're crying because like maybe he wasn't supporting his dream or supporting him. And he was just like, you need to get up off your butt and, stop. And even his sister was like, hey, man, you've grown up better than most kids.
Right.
So like, stop it.
Chill.
Stop it with all that nonsense.
Ridiculousness. I don't know.
So also, we in the news was your boy, your girl Meghan Markle and Prince Harry.
We haven't talked. It's been a while since we've been together.
It's been a while.
And had time to discuss Queen Oprah's interview.
So she's Queen Oprah now?
Always has been.
No.
What?
She's been hating on hip hop. She's been defending Harvey Weinstein. She
defended Harvey Weinstein. I don't think she defended him.
She's friends with Harvey Weinstein.
She didn't know about the.
She's not for the hip hop community, so I can't name her queen.
Well, I do.
But anyways, she did a decent interview. But
she did a great interview, and I think a part of the interview was I think they came ready to tell it all, so they made her job relatively easy. But she is also still a master interviewer with those follow-up questions. She didn't let him off the hook on something. She came back and was like, tell me again about this.
I just don't understand the people's shock and awe that white rich people might be not welcoming to a half black baby.
Well, that's the thing. I'm like, I'm not surprised that they were acting the way that they were or treating her the way that they were.
Did you see how when she said they asked, what color is he going to be? And Oprah was like, oh.
I know.
What?
Full drama.
Like, what?
What?
That's
what she said.
That was a question. Yeah, what? That was a question I would expect them to ask.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
I would answer the question before it even got asked. So the baby's, like, our other baby is white, so this baby's probably going to be white too, so don't worry. But,
well, I mean, he's not, obviously, he wasn't going to be dark.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I feel like they were thinking, oh, she's been out here creeping with some London bloke. And
I don't think they thought that. I don't think they thought that.
I don't. But why would you? She had another baby. She had a baby before, and the baby is pure white like cocaine.
Who had a baby? Meghan Markle?
Meghan Markle has. This is her second baby.
She does not have any kids. This is her first.
I thought she had a baby before. Oh,
you're fat. Ding, 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 ding.
I thought this is their second child. That's what I got from the interview.
She's pregnant now.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. They are talking about the baby in her stomach.
Oh,
what that baby is going to be like.
They were talking about Archie.
See, I didn't know Archie. I thought Archie was the baby in the stomach.
No.
Oh, okay.
Brennen did not research the story.
No, because I was just like, white people are racist. Oh. But not even white people, I'm sorry to say that. Rich white people don't want a half-breed baby in their family.
Did you just call the baby half-breed?
She's not even a half-breed. She's like a quarter.
Okay.
Because she's a half. Well, she's half, so that makes the baby, I don't know what percentage that is, but they want their lineage to be so pure that they will do incest. So
anyway, the interview, back to that. The interview was a great interview. I think we learned a lot. We learned a lot that I don't think I knew about the royal family. We did learn that they had a marriage ceremony before the actual ceremony. I don't know if it was an actual wedding, but we did learn that. We learned that the story about Meghan making Kate cry was actually the opposite. That Kensington Palace wasn't there to help them or put out positive stories about Meghan. They let the negative ones flow through. She wasn't treated fairly per Meghan. So there's a lot of revealing issues.
Was there
that they don't get security? They just kind of cut him off and was like, live your life as a royal out in these streets. Like, people aren't always trying to come and get you and your black wife and your black child.
Did we find out in the interview that Tyler Perry was giving them security?
Yeah.
So I saw a funny meme that somebody was saying right now somebody is explaining to Queen Elizabeth who Tyler Perry is.
Yes.
And why is he giving security for her grandson?
Well, I mean, because she wouldn't.
Yeah, basically.
Black folks,
so
man, we save the day.
I remember the hate that Diana had. I didn't see it for Camilla when the Prince whatever.
And there should have been, because Camilla was
a side piece.
Right.
She was an extra side. She was like
there
mashed
was
potatoes.
No Camilla hate.
Mashed potatoes and macaroni, just a full side.
Yeah,
but I didn't see much hate for Kate Middleton.
No, there was no hate for her. There was all love for Kate.
There was all love. There was nothing. So I don't know. It's like Meghan just, she got all that Diana hate, and so that's why Harry was like, I didn't want to see her go through the same things that my mom went through.
Shout out to Harry for risking it all. He gave all of it up.
That's like
all of it.
You know, that movie just came out, Coming to America 2.
Yeah.
And it's like that's the opposite of Coming to America. So like if Hakeem would have given up the whole the kingdom just to marry Lisa, that's the Harry and Meghan story.
But how come Harry was just like, that's who you need to find, lady? So you need to find you a Harry who just was just like, I don't care about any of this stuff. I'm just gonna move and be with you.
I mean. What? Yeah, that is easy because he is Harry, so his face gets him into places.
That's true, but can you imagine? Do you know what he had?
Yes,
he was the prince of second in line to the throne at one point.
Right.
Well, third in line to the throne
until his brother had his daughter.
And he's just like, I'm out.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, he didn't really care. Like, he was living his best life.
He sure was.
Even before.
That's so true.
He joined the army.
That is a good point. He was naked in Vegas.
Yeah, he was doing the most.
Doing the absolute most. So you're right. He did. He stopped caring a long time ago.
So what else have you been watching? What other kind of shows have you been
watch
watching?
all reality.
Okay.
Well, not all reality. I watched The Housewives. Okay. So I watched the Bolo drama on Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Okay.
Kardashians just came back on.
Okay.
I am one of those people who's watched since the beginning. I'm not mad that it's ending because it's getting kind of stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean...
What was the one that the lady had the tablet of receipts that we talked about?
Oh, that was Real Housewives of Potomac.
Potomac?
Yeah.
Which
filming season.
Oh, okay.
The next season right now.
Which Housewives are they on right now?
Atlanta. They're
okay.
on Atlanta, New Jersey, and Dallas right now.
Oh.
Yeah, they're on all of them.
Any TV shows? Any regular shows?
I watch all the Chicago shows.
Okay.
All of
PD, Med, and
PD
Fire.
is my fave.
Okay.
I love all of the cops in Chicago PD.
Law and Order? You still watch Law and Order?
Yes, you know.
Okay.
I'm a diehard Law and
You
Order.
know Law and Order is doing a spin-off with the old boy who left. He's doing organized crime or something.
Yes, I do.
I don't
April
know when
1st.
I was going to say, when does that start?
April 1st.
So,
he comes back.
I've been watching Equalizer, that show with Queen Latifah.
Yeah, I saw one episode of it. It was good.
It was pretty
decent.
good. I watched Clarice, the Silence of the Lambs.
Now why? We did not need that show. We didn't need it.
I don't, but I still like it.
So I feel like of all of the characters in that movie, we needed a backstory on the killer. What was his name?
Buffalo Bill.
Buffalo Bill. We needed his backstory. Yeah. I did not need a Clarice backstory.
No, it's not a Clarice backstory. It's Clarice after she does the Buffalo Bill. So it's after she finds Buffalo Bill and everything. Now she works with the other cop that was trying to find Buffalo Bill. He's in the FBI and he's the head of this task force. The woman that the girl that she saved, the mother is now an attorney general, and so she's hired Clarice to join this special task force, but it's headed up by the guy that Clarice beat out in finding Buffalo Bill. And he's mad that she didn't call for backup and she just went in there by himself. So he's giving her a hard time because he thinks that she's like a lone wolf and he needs her to work as a team. So it's...
Clearly I didn't read the backstory of Clarice. I thought it was a story about
it's pretty decent.
Growing up.
But I asked you that so you did watch a lot of reality shows, and I've been pondering because I've been having to watch Married at First Sight.
So I hear everybody talking about Married at First Sight. I have yet to watch that show.
So I hate it when my wife watches it, but I always get in tune because there's always a character that I'm just like, why is he on this show? So there's this black dude who married this black woman at first sight, but then keeps on, like, we thought it was funny because he kept on mentioning his ex-girlfriend. He's like, oh, you got a dog? My ex-girlfriend has a dog. Oh, you got a car? My ex-girlfriend has a car. And I was just like, man, he keeps on bringing her up. So later on in the show, come to find out, he tells her, after they've already, got married and consummated the marriage, he's like, oh, my ex called me and told me that I might have a baby. So I gotta go and talk to her, and I gotta leave the show to figure it out.
What?
So he leaves the show. Then it was like, I want my ex to come on the show with us, and it's a whole mess. And I'm sitting there eating my popcorn like, oh my God, this is crazy. I'm sitting to my wife, it's like, how are you gonna bring his ex-girl onto this new show with his new wife?
Right.
And
so at Married at First Sight, how long do you have before you get married?
They don't. You see the person, you hear a couple things about them, then on the aisle, that's when you see them for the first time.
That is stupid.
And then you get married, and then you basically
that's dumb.
Live life.
Who wants to do that?
It's so that they rarely work because they always have arguments.
Oh my gosh.
They're always so.
Who goes on these shows?
People who want to be famous and
so
just
dumb.
Get a name for themselves. But I'm like, man, there's no shows for guys. There's never a show like, I would like to see a show where the Mackenzie, the Bezos, Mackenzie Scott Bezos, the story of her husband. What's his life like now? Like,
new husband?
Her new husband. Like, oh, I was a former teacher, but now I married the third richest woman in the world. So
Can you just imagine what his life is like, though?
I would love to see a show about his life.
He's probably one of those normal guys who just didn't change his life at all.
No,
he was a normal school teacher, and he's probably still teaching biology.
He probably teaches
at West Side High.
Yeah, I was gonna say he went to a lower income school, and then he's just like, oh well, my wife is gonna make a donation to the school,
right.
So now I have to teach at another low income school. But it's just, I feel like he does a lot of stuff for the love now. So it's just like, because he can't be doing things for the money.
Well, he might have always did it for the love, which is what attracted her to him.
Right.
That could be
it. That's the whole show. Like, we can see that. It's like, we always see the hip hop star and the groupie. Mm-hmm. We always see, the rich businessman and the woman who's the housewife who just has to take whatever this man is doing and just stay at the house and watch the kids. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, I want to see a show about, like what guys are doing. So I came up with a show.
Oh.
And it's called A Beacon of Hoes. Take it in. I'm always on that hoe talk. But listen to this show. The concept of the show: a former pimp takes his hoes and lists their best attributes and gets them jobs in respectable fields using their best attribute. So the pimp is the beacon of hoes.
You know what, Brennen, I've noticed about you? You always have hope for the hoe.
I do, man.
You always want the hoe to do better.
Yes, because the hoe is just trying to make her living. Brennen
is always like, it's not like you want to save the hoe.
No.
You just want her to do better for herself.
I want to normalize the hoe, like a hoe being a hoe, because it's like, I feel like the most open people that just say, talk real and get whatever they're feeling out of their mind and say it, were hoes. Like, they're just like, I don't care how you feel, I'm just going to say this.
Prime example. I don't know if you saw on Instagram, there's this page called Humans of New York. Mm. And there was this lady on Humans of New York. Do you follow that page? Mm-hmm. She had a fur coat on. I can't remember her name. But she was out there just living. Mm-hmm. People were so fascinated by her story in Humans of New York. And she became very, Instagram famous, and mm-hmm. there was a GoFundMe. Someone started a GoFundMe for her just because she was so brutally honest about her story in the beginning, the life she was living and what she did to make the money that she made. It became a 12, 13 part series.
Mm-hmm. And I just find them interesting. I find that they are very open with their stories, and they rarely they're not gonna lie, because it's why would you lie about that come-upping? It's I had to sleep in my car. I had to mess with 40 dudes in a 2-week span. It's Jesus, that sounds horrible. So this pimp will basically be a beacon of hoes and basically shine the light on their best attributes. So it's if she's good at counting money or something, get her a bank job. If she's good at fashion,
be a bank teller.
Yeah, be a bank teller. Give her a job in the fashion industry. If she's good at communications, get her a job at working customer service. Okay. It's just basically be that beacon and put them out into respectable fields instead of putting them on the track. I'd watch that show. I'd be like, man,
sure you would.
When did Beacon of Hoes come on? I can hear people saying that right now. When does Beacon of Hoes come on? Man, that pimp.
Call AMC.
No, not ABC, because that's owned by Disney. So
I said AMC.
Oh, AMC. Oh, yeah. You know what else I've been watching? The Aretha Franklin story.
Yes, I'm on episode 2.
I'm on episode 4.
Are you? Okay.
Halfway through episode 4, and it is good.
Yeah,
I really like that.
I love Cynthia Erivo, though. She's one of my favorite singers.
I didn't know she was English.
What? How did you not know
she
that?
She played Harriet Tubman. I was like, that is Harriet Tubman. And then I was like, she was talking on the radio today, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
you're Idris Elba.
So I first saw her on Broadway when she was in The Color Purple.
Okay.
She played Celia in The Color Purple. And I was like, oh my gosh, she has the best voice. And then she can sing. Yeah. And then I've been following her.
But I love how she does this Southern accent.
Yeah.
And she's British.
I know.
And I'm sitting there
Brits are taking over.
They are. Your boy just won a Oscar. What's his name? I don't know. He was for the Judas and the Black Messiah.
Oh yeah.
He's English.
Yeah, I know.
He was in Get Out.
Yes.
Daniel.
I can't say the last name.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Then the other boy that won, he was talking about, I wore my Balenciagas. I forgot what did he win for. He was a young dude. He was basically I know him from Star Wars. He was in Star Wars, the most recent Star Wars.
Yeah.
He's British. So I was just like, these Brit, and Idris Elba, he's taking over.
Jesus. Yes, Idris.
And there was another actor in The Wire, McNulty. That was his character in The Wire, but he's a British actor. So when he talks, there's the boy from I don't know, you don't watch the show called The Shy, but the guy that plays like the bum homeless dude that came back from the war, he's a British actor. So these British actors are taking over, and if they can play the roles,
some young men too.
I don't know about that, but if they can play the roles, play the roles. They're doing a good job to me.
Judas and the Black Messiah was a good movie.
That was a very good movie.
Very
I did not know that Hoover just damn near put a hit out on
crazy, right?
Chairman Fred. That's
crazy. At 21 years old.
At 21, so oh my goodness! Imagine
they were afraid of him.
Imagine what he could have been, and that's. I guess,
he had to have been already something. If J. Edgar Hoover is just gotta get rid of that dude.
Well, there were a bunch of them, like the ones that was the one in Chicago. They had already locked up Huey Newton in Oakland. Yeah. So it's like, I would think Huey Newton would have been, more of the Black Messiah than Fred, but
he probably didn't have a Judas in his camp to help him out. That's probably what happened there. That's more than likely that's what happened there. Oh man! So, what have you been listening to? Any music? Have you been listening to any music? I have not really been listening to anything. Like, I don't even know if anything has come out lately. I don't know what I've been listening to.
What's in your car right now?
CNN. No, MSNBC. I watch MSNBC. So
you
want to see what's in my playlist? Yeah, I know, because my boy Bruno. Okay. Silk Sonic.
Okay, he got that Leave the Door Open.
Yes, that is, it's so smooth.
Do you like the boy that he's doing it with?
Yeah.
Anderson .Paak?
Yeah, I like Anderson .Paak.
He's a pretty good talented singer.
He's good.
I think Dr. Dre tried to birth his career. So anybody who gets the Dr. Dre stamp is pretty much going to blow up. But it took him a little bit of time. But he's starting to get his just due. Yeah,
and Bruno is due for another album, so I'm hoping that comes soon as well.
Yeah, that last one, he hasn't dropped an album in maybe 2 years.
Yeah, but it was good that he toured that album for 2 years.
He toured it, played the Grammys with that album. Like, he did everything. Yeah. He milked that album for all of
it. It was a good album. Bruno's my man.
Bruno is a very talented singer.
He is.
So I've been listening to, you're not going to know, Pooh Shiesty.
Here we go.
He's a Gucci Man artist.
I don't know any of your people who you talk about.
Benny the Butcher. Benny the Butcher is the guy that, remember, he got shot in Houston. Yes. Talking about that. He dropped an album, The Plugs I Met, Part 2. Pooh Shiesty's dropped Shiesty Season. But I was bringing that up to say I was talking to my son one day, and he was like, "Hey, Brennen, check out this new song." And I was like, "All right, go ahead and play it." And it was like, the lyrics were just, boop, boop, beep, beep, poop, poop, ooh. And I was just like, oh, they're hating on Scoopity Whoop by Kanye West. I was like, they stealing Kanye West's swag. And he was like, man, this song is tight though. And I was like, I mean, to hear it, and once you hear it, it kind of gets in your head. But I just got upset. And so I was like, I played him this song by Ransom, and I was like, here's a guy that's spitting bars that you can feel, bars that you can hear and take with you. And he was just listening to it, and he was just like, nah. And I was like, I remember back in the day when like artists would say things and then like grown men would just start screaming because of what they said, because they were like, oh my God.
It told a story.
Yeah.
That's when I'm alone in my room.
Sometimes I stare at the wall, and in the back of my mind, I hear my conscience call. So it's like a lot of the music now does not really say anything.
No.
So during the month of February, while everybody was posting quotes by famous black people and quotes by prominent blacks during Black History Month, I started posting a series called "I Felt That." So I would every day, if you go back on my Facebook, you can see pretty much every day I posted a line from old rappers, new rappers. Sometimes I threw movies in there because it's like certain lines from the movies I really felt. But it's like there were lyrics that I just really, really felt. And so it's like they don't get that anymore. When you listen to a Little Uzi Vert, all he talks about is the diamonds and the cars, and it's like you're not saying anything worthwhile, really. It's like there's nothing that a teenager could listen to and take it with him and use in his real life. I remember the first Jay-Z CD, that's where I pulled a lot of stuff from. The first Jay-Z CD taught me a lot, just because we're all from the suburbs, so it's like we didn't have any street knowledge. So it's like I listened to the Jay-Z CD and I was just like, okay. So
but Jay-Z, also, he made you think. He had these metaphors. And it's like, okay, I don't know.
He said one time, if your whole entire clique is rich, your clique is rugged, no one will fail because we all would be each other's crutches. And it's like, I took that and I was just like, with my buddies, I told my buddies, I was like, look, we are all going to be each other's crutch. So if one of us is down, we're all going to get together and build you back up, because we're going to be like that Jay-Z lyric. You can't listen to these Spot 'em Got 'em or any of these new rappers and hear anything that's like worthwhile, like how Jay-Z was
like
spitting.
the mumble rap. I just can't stand that because I don't know what they're saying.
They're not saying anything. They're just
just giving beats.
A. Like they end everything with A.
Yeah.
Who do you listen to, Breana?
Oh, Brianna's back. Hey.
I know you listen to country, but any hip hop artists?
She does, y'all. She listens to country music.
I am a big country music fan. However,
before you start that, there's a black country singer. Her name is, I'll look it up real quick and I'll let you know, but it was really good. She sang on the Grammys. It's called Black Like Me.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
She sang. It was really good. Anyway, go ahead.
I do like my Kendrick.
Okay. Kendrick does spit. He does spit.
He is pretty much all of hip hop for me, but I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't matter what Eminem puts out. Eminem will always be, for me, one of the great rappers of all time, but like my greatest, like who I will buy everything they ever do, The Roots.
Okay, well, Black Thought is the rapper out of The Roots, and Black Thought is probably
the greatest
top 5 rappers alive right now.
Like, no, he is number one in everybody's got their own list. I understand, and my list is always going to be different than everybody else's. But for me, Black Thought is number one, and he deserves the respect that he is not given, because his bars.
I think if Black Thought was just Black Thought, the just person, not in the Roots group, Black Thought would be looked at as more of a rapper. But it's the Roots, the whole ensemble of the Roots that kind of overshadows Black Thought's lyrics. Because
if you really want to, so as a Roots groupie, if you will, listen to their EP Water. I urge everyone to listen to the EP Water. It is probably one of his greatest accomplishments, in my mind, of all his hip hop career. It is just beautiful and brilliant.
Do you have any lyrics that you might have remembered that from that Water, or any lyrics that you just always keep with you that you're like, man, I really feel that?
Like lyrics that I feel that?
Yeah, like just any lyric that you were just like, man, I really felt that. When he said that, I felt that.
So my problem is unlike you, I don't take things to heart and feel them. I could probably tell you the lyric. Like if you start a song, I can finish any song.
I'm about to play you because you are the one that said Southern playalistic.
Oh, it's got a lot of funky music.
Got a lot of funky music.
But I do love my Outkast. I do love my Andre 3K more than him, though I love my big boy. Like, they said her name was Tangerine, said she was the American Dream.
No, what's his name? Who died?
Oh, Heavy D.
Oh,
listen,
yeah,
don't talk to me about Heavy D. I will cry on spot. Like, let me get to heaven and see Heavy D. It is
Diddly, 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 diddly.
like the first. I've always wanted to be a Heavy D girl. Like, I just thought his backup dancers were beautiful in the world.
I don't remember any Heavy D lyric, but I do remember he had a comedian in his video, and the Noxema girl was in there, and the comedian was like, "That's that Noxema girl." Mm-hmm. I just say that randomly throughout the day because
Heavy had Heavy had every pickup line that you've probably used in the history of your life. Heavy D had all the lines.
I feel like he was the inspiration for Biggie Smalls is like trying to be sexy because he saw Heavy D doing it. And he was like, "Oh, big dudes can be sexy,
because
so
Heavy
I'm about
was
to be
sexy."
sexy."
And I will argue that till the day I die. Heavy was a sexy guy.
Brett, any lyrics that you can think of?
I feel like that hurt your feelings a little bit.
I mean, he was light skinned, and you know how I feel about light skin.
Oh, see.
I always like Jay-Z's Song Cry.
Lord.
Song Cry is a good song.
It is a good
but it's just Brett and Jay-Z.
I know.
It doesn't matter. Jay-Z could be like, "Oh, I coughed on an album." Brett would be like, "Oh my God."
So he does. He goes.
It was the greatest cough in the history.
So I have two.
Lyrics.
I have one from Jay-Z that I'm going to use. So next time, Brett, we do the podcast, I want you to come up with a line, some line in the song that you've heard, and you'd be like, "I felt that."
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Am I not invited to the next?
You are invited. Yes, you are invited. Okay. But one line. So one line I tried to save because I was going to use it for the podcast was a Redman line, but then this Jay-Z song came out, and I'm going to use it. But I still want to say the Redman line. Shout out to my friend Little Grimy, and he had a line. He said, "The hash spreader. I love the grimy. Even my girl did grimy to me, and I went back with her. 3 years for carrying a loaded handgun, but it's forever blast, and he lands one to your cranium. That red dot on your forehead is not because you Arabian. Watch what you say to him." I just felt that. I just liked that line, and I had a friend. We called her Little Grimy. She did grimy stuff. I was big grimy. I did grimy stuff. And I just liked the grimy shit. I just really did like it. So it's like
I feel like I need a hug after listening to that.
Well, it is kind of.
Can someone come hug me? Like,
I'll get Emerson to come and give you a hug. But the line I do want to officially use for this week is, "This is what it feels like." Jay-Z and Nipsey Hussle. Jay-Z said, "You let them crackers storm your Capitol, put their feet up on your desk, and you yet talking tough to me. I lost all my little respect." So Jay-Z is also, he then goes and says, "I'm selling weed in the open, bringing folks home from the feds." So Jay-Z started a weed business. Jay-Z's got all kind of streams of income. So he's selling medical marijuana in legal states. So he's getting pushback from Democrats talking about like, "Oh, you can't do this and you can't do that." And he just said, he's like, "You let them people storm your Capitol, put their feet up on your desk."
Let them. I want us to emphasize the let them, how they move the gates and allow them in.
And then put your feet all up on your desk. But you have the nerve to talk crazy to me. I lost all my little respect. I felt that.
I felt that too.
And so it's like, that's the type of stuff that I like to hear.
I too felt that.
We all felt it.
That sounds like you felt that a little bit too much.
No.
It's like Jay-Z whispered it into your ear. But yeah, so next week you come up with a line that you can feel, and just let us know. And then I'll start working on my new show, Beacon of Hoes.
Oh, yeah. Brennen told us about a new show he wants to produce called Beacon of Hoes.
What are you watching? What kind of TV shows are you watching?
So I will say that this summer, in the time of COVID, I did pick up a new show. It's called The Queen's Gambit. I hope
that was good.
I do hope that other people. I really like intelligent television. I like television that doesn't allow me to touch my phone, because if I touch my phone, then I'm not paying attention. Then I'm going to miss something critical. And The Queen's Gambit for me, while it wasn't at the level of The West Wing or Newsroom, it was smart. It was very smart.
What happened to Newsroom?
Did it was a good show.
I was gonna say they just got one, like 2 seasons and then boom.
I don't know, but Aaron Sorkin could literally, he could remake The Wiggles and I would watch it. Like, Aaron Sorkin he was behind The West Wing and The Newsroom, and there's nothing.
What happened to Newsroom? That was a good show.
There's nothing he couldn't make that I wouldn't watch. But whatever happened to The Newsroom really.
Your Honor. I watch Your Honor on Showtime.
I heard that's good too.
It's
but
Bryan Cranston,
Yeah.
the guy that's.
I heard the ending was bad.
The ending, to be, I've felt the ending was perfect. It should have. It's not bad. Everybody got what they wanted at the end, because the son in that show made me upset.
People.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying he made me upset the way he was acting. So I don't know. I felt like everybody got the just deserved in the ending. But
I feel like Bryan Cranston is like an Aaron Sorkin kind of actor. Like, everything he makes is top-notch quality.
So I didn't know how the show would have a second season, but apparently it's a show in Israel or something. Like, the show originally was taken from a show in Israel, and that got a second season. So I'm thinking Your Honor is going to come back for a second season. I'm hoping it does, because it's a really good show and you guys all should watch it.
Again, I was not here. Can I just add a quick question? Did you watch Bridgerton?
No, I don't. I don't understand the hype of Bridgerton. I don't get it. I know that there's this light-skinned dude that was on Saturday Night Live, and they were making jokes about him saying
don't talk
things.
about Regé negatively. You will get backlash.
I guess. I don't know. I don't watch it, so I have nothing to say.
I watched it. I thought it was okay. I didn't understand the hype of it though. I mean, it was a fine show.
It just rose-tinted glasses sister, and I thought that there were a couple of episodes in which finer television could not have ever been made.
But wait till the Beacon of Hoes comes out, and like in the third episode, one of the hoes tries to go back to the streets, and the pimp has to talk her out of it. Like, man,
I feel like Flavor Flav is going to be mentioned on your show at some level.
I mean, Flavor Flav does have a spot on my show if he wants to. I could find some space for him, but I'm just saying, I feel like a Beacon of Hoes would do better ratings than Bridgerton. I'm just saying. No. I don't know.
Bridgerton touched everybody.
Yeah, I heard they touched everybody. I heard they were touching everybody.
Like the way that your show, the title of your show, would grab the attention of the level of diversity that you would want.
Hey, some people might not admit it, but everybody loves hoes. Everybody does.
Here we go.
I'm just saying.
Don't bring up Jesus. Don't say anything about Jesus. R.I.P. on Jerry, because she had to go through this in person.
Listen, I'm just saying, everybody, you might not admit it, but everybody loves them. So might as well, see how they're living in regular aspects of life. Get them a regular job and see how it works out for them.
Wow.
But this has been another episode of How Are We Related?
I'm the most related. I just want to put that out there. The most related, because I was the first one, the firstborn, the prayed for.
So I always.
So thank you guys for listening this week.
The most related.
We will see you again next week.
This is Brennen J.
It's Brett Janelle.
This should be Breanna's show. Because I'm the most related of the relateds.
All right. Goodbye.
I'm going to end on that.
Right.
See y'all later.
Bye.